Hello guys, today we're talking about Rocky 4. And yes, Rocky 4, this time is the battle between the Americans and the Russians. Of course, America was Rocky, and of course, Russia was Drago, the big Russian man who, has been specifically trained to be invincible. Even though it shows while they were trained that Drago has been using steroids to make himself stronger. Well, of course, it's kind of unfair, but again, that's how the Russians, well, they always wanted to win. And yeah, today we're talking about this movie and film. So this is kind of more like a revenge film because Rocky wanted to get revenge because, of course, in the exposition match, which is Rocky's friend Apollo Creed was killed by Drago it was at the beginning of the movie. So yeah, so they basically train, and basically Drago's in like a secure area to train, this giant gym that the Russian government made for him, and Rocky is out there in the snow, like chopping down trees and stuff, and doing stuff in the snow, like carrying people, like carrying trucks in the snow. It's the different training methods. Rocky and Drago both have a match. The match is pretty great. Basically, the first part of the battle, the beginning, Rocky realizes that Drago is not invincible and he can be beaten. That he is not like this invincible guy. He can be beaten. At the end, Drago gets beaten, and it's a very sense of satisfaction. And of course, definitely at the time in 1985, it was a sense of American patriotism in America and a love for America, and defeating Russia in a match that were meant for America. And you can see near the end, everybody was cheering for Rocky and nobody was cheering for Drago, even in his own country, because they knew Rocky was the underdog. He was like in every match he is in. He always comes out on top because he always drags out the matches and always wins. So yeah, Rocky 4 is a pretty good movie. It's definitely a movie that is definitely for like the 4th of July if you want to watch a American movie. Even if you haven't watched the other 3 movies, if you just want to watch a movie about the American underdog beating the stronger Russian might, which of course at the time was definitely a pro-America movie because it was portraying the Russians as such bad as, cheaters and stuff, and America triumphs over Russia. Yeah, this is a pretty good movie if you love America and America itself. So what score do I give this movie? I give this movie an 8 out of 10. I think this movie has pretty good themes. Rocky, the revenge part was pretty great where Rocky had to get revenge. That's the whole reason why he fights Drago in the first place. Because before that he wanted to retire, but of course he has to get his revenge on. It was kind of like that in the third movie as well with the guy played by Mr. T. I just call him Mr. T because that's what he was played by. But yeah, there was kind of the same plot in the third movie, and they kind of repeated the same thing, but instead it was the Russians who are the bad guys in this movie. The Russians who have been, trained a quote-unquote perfect fighter, but he still lost. And that was another good part where he was supposed to be the perfect fighter, the Drago guy, but he lost anyways because he isn't really as invincible as the Russians portrayed him to be. And yes, it's a good movie. The ending was satisfying. And yes, the movie was pretty emotional as well. So yep, that's basically it. Goodbye.